Hello Aries, thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Modern Spellcaster's Tarot by Melanie Marquis, illustrated by Scott Murphy. For the supportive oracle cards, I'm using the Angel Answers Oracle cards by Doreen Virtue and Radley Valentine. Already shuffled, let's go ahead. Where are we going? Okay. No, put it down. All right. It's up to you. It's at the bottom here. And I have to say, the last card you have that's making things better is the Magician card. So I feel like you have a lot more control in this situation. And it might be about getting to that part because I feel like there's something kind of working between you and your partner. I don't feel like right in the start off you have that Magician energy, but you're working towards it. Your partner's going to be conducive with it when it's really in effect. So as we're starting out with this, the first card that I'm noticing on your side in a spiritual sense here, the spiritual position, is the Something of Wands, the Seven of Wands. I feel like you're overcoming. Honestly, the first thought I came with was you're overcoming ruin. Something's not going. So the situation isn't great, is what I'm getting. But you're overcoming it. You're meeting these challenges. You're handling them the best you can. It's not dragging you down in the sense of like pushing you off the edge there. Just you can't handle life. You're staying in it. You're in the fight. You're keeping on. You're going with it. You're making it past it. You're making it like you're succeeding. There's success here. But it feels like you've been fighting for it for a while. In your challenge position, you have the Five of Swords. I feel like you've been like holding the line for a while. But the challenge position is it's time to move on, time to move out of this way of living. Because I feel like you've been living this way for a while is what I'm getting. And I feel like it's time to like, all right, let's put down the swords. Everybody's okay now. Like I feel like you're still defending something that is changing. And it's not so much about like the adversity's gone. I feel like there needs to be a different way to handle this. It needs to maybe be instead of like holding the line, maybe you need to put up a wall so you don't have to stand there and hold the line for the rest of whatever time this is going on. Now, it's interesting because that's the challenge position for you, the holding the line thing and changing how you're doing that. Your partner, on the other hand, the wheel is turning. The wheel is turning. I feel like your partner's looking at this. See, they're standing in the position of the Two of Swords. The wheel is turning. This is their challenge, though, because they don't know if it's turning for the better or for the worse. Your partner seems to be really... Like, the wheel is turning, but they're questioning if it's turning for better or for worse right now. They're not sure. The fact that the wheel is still in play seems to be very important to them. And I feel like this is kind of going over... This is where it's starting to get into more of your hands to get that wheel to go into a better direction. Now, I'm getting with your partner, you got the Queen of Pentacles. Your partner is really... There's a lot of care here. A lot of devotion. A lot of investment. Emotionally, your partner, whatever this situation is, one of the reasons they're so not sure if this is going for the better or for the worse at this point is because they're very invested and they want this to work out. And it's one of those things where you have to do it well and you have to do it right, and you can't have a less than perfect moment. And by that I mean like things have to be handled a certain way. It's not like trying to do your best. I don't feel like that's an option here. It's like either do it or you don't. You can't do a midway. It does not feel midway here at all. It feels like your partner is really like there is no second. There's no ranking here. It's either you do it or you don't. And it's definitely how they're looking at it. So that's where they're questioning, is this getting better or worse? There is no middle ground. And by being in that moment, is this going better or worse? They're stuck in that feeling of like it's still worse. Because they can't live in both. It's either good or it's bad. Because they're stuck not knowing if it's good or bad, they're living in the bad. But they're accepting it. You might not be seeing it. That's the thing. Because I feel like they've been going along this steady rhythm and they've accepted that it's bad. It might be getting better, but I still feel the stress is there. The stress is there. It can get better. It's in your hands, though. I feel like it's in your hands. Now, your partner, the same situation they're very devoted to, they're expecting, spiritually they have the temperance. They're expecting this is going to take a while. There's no quick win. There is no quick win. Your partner would, if you told your partner there was a quick win, they'd probably have a freak out on you. Because to them, I'm getting that's completely irrational. Like, there's a lot of energy here. That's one of the reasons that the wheel is kind of like wobbling. They're just, is it going better or is it not? And it can't be there is no midway. But it is going to take a while. If it's getting better, it's not going to happen. It's not going to be a quick win. If it's getting better, it should keep getting better. If it's not getting better, then that's not going to be good either. Because if it's not getting better, it's heading down and it's going to get worse. That's how they're viewing it. And I'm getting your partner with the Queen of Swords. Don't get caught up with the gender. With the general read, it can be any gender. But your partner has a lot of like emotionally, not just emotional, but like they've thought this through. Even though they're extremely emotionally invested, there's a lot of thought into this. The wind, you got air and you got earth here. Earth is very dedicated. Air is very thought out. Usually communicates well. Now, this is very thought out. Again, I'm getting there's a compromise here. I feel like they're depending on you. And I'm almost getting like this maybe wasn't the case previously. Because the compromise is they have to let go a little bit. They have to give themselves a little bit of a reprieve here. And part of that is to give, at least half of the responsibility, at least, over to you for the time being. Maybe more. But if it's more, it's just for the time being because I'm feeling like you're in more of a stronger position than maybe you have been in the past. So I'm getting this. There's a compromise coming up. It's connected with them. The compromise is letting you take control. I don't feel like that's something they're going to easily do. But once they have confidence in you, I feel like they will. I don't know. There's something up with this compromise because they will only give up enough control to where they'll let you lead the way, but they're definitely going to they're going to be able to stomp on the brakes if they decide that's what's necessary. Like, they're not giving you complete control. I feel like that's what they're warning you with this compromise. Don't feel like it's all just going to go your way, like just because they're handing you like the steering wheel or whatever you want to say in this situation. Like, they're letting you drive the car, but if they feel like things aren't going well, they will make the car stop. Like, it's like, I almost feel like it's a warning. Like, you got to make sure your partner's on board, understands what's happening, and all that good stuff. It's really important because I'm getting there's a deep, deep emotional investment here. They're very worried that this wheel is going to go to the negative. They're hoping it's going to the positive, but they're not seeing it as a short term. It's going to take a minute. It's going to take a while. Now I'm getting like this. They're saying this is happening sooner than you think. In the near future is popping up for this, but I'm getting like you're the one who's taking care of things here, and I'm getting the Sun card in the sense of like you're seeming to get control here. It seems to empower you. You seem to be feeling a lot better. You seem to be getting that strength that you need. You're in the King of Wands position. I feel like it's the control thing here. You're feeling like the situation is going a lot better because you know where it's going. You're having that responsibility, but the conviction to like, not only do I have the say of where it's going, I'm going to keep to this, and I'm going to keep pushing it forward so I know it's going to work out. I'm getting there's a very strong confidence spike here because your partner's like, all right, you can lead the way at this point, that's fine. Um, but they're like, I feel like they're even telling you, like, if I see something I don't like, I'm stomping on those brakes and like you're gonna bump your head, we're gonna stop so fast. I'm just warning you. And you're like, completely fine, I can handle this. And I feel like that's where the Six of Pentacles is pushing in here. You're aware of this. Your partner, you know well enough to realize that they're not kidding. And you also, like, whatever they're invested in, you're also invested. I just feel like they've been doing something different. Like, I don't know, I feel like you've been holding the line while they've been making sure it's been surviving. And now it's kind of like it might be reversing or just like a different way. This is happening different. They were doing more the nurturing thing before and you were holding the line. But you need to release holding the line and you need to nurture together. And I feel like you might take over the nurturing for a while, however that works for this situation. And I feel like that's releasing a lot of stress from your partner. Although they're still there watching. They're like a hawk. I feel like they're watching everything you're doing. But you're completely okay with that because I feel like you're getting some confidence through that too. Like, if I make a misstep, I'm not going to get very far before they tell me right off the bat, like, that's wrong. And you're okay with that. You're like, yes, because this needs to go well. But the Sun card is telling me it's going a lot better. The energy is a little bit, it's starting to get like excited in a sense. And I feel like as it's going forward, it's getting more excited. Everything, like, I'm getting the Magician. This is what makes things better. You're taking that control back. But not like you're not oppressing somebody with control. You're like leading the way and like you're helping your partner come with you. You're assisting your partner, but you're leading in a direction you've both agreed on. This is where you both want to go. You're just making the decisions to make sure it happens. And the yes is like you're feeling completely empowered again. I'm getting that's releasing this old hold the line mentality, but you guys are seeming to do it. You're doing well. Now, this is what's helping you. It's interesting. Your partner is also helping greatly to make sure this works out in a successful way with the Ten of Wands and the communicate clearly. Your partner is still stressed. They will not accept that this is going to be an easy win. They will not accept that, which is, I feel like is good for this because that's part of your success here. The reason this is making things better is because they have their eye on all the details and they're letting you know what they're seeing. They're letting you know what needs to be done. You're keeping right up with it. It's not daunting you in the least. It's stressful for your partner because the situation is stressful anyway. I'm getting that's why this is in the good position. Situation is stressful anyway. The fact that they're communicating with you is releasing that. It's releasing a lot of the stress as much as they can. It seems like they're releasing that by talking to you, letting you know. It's not daunting you, though. You're keeping right up with it. So as we go out of this, I feel like that's where this is going. You're getting that control. You're feeling more empowered. You're releasing this hold the line mentality, this protect, protect, protect mentality. You're releasing that. You're forging ahead in more of an offense rather than a defense way. And it's putting you in a spot where you're feeling a lot more empowered. You're not feeling crushed. Like I'm getting like there was a problem here before with this holding the line that was not working. But now that you're actually able to move forward, your partner is actually doing a lot better too. Again, they're not going to accept a quick win, and I feel like that's good. I feel like that's good. And the Ten of Wands is telling me it's the difference between the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords. If you weren't leading the way, this would be the Ten of Swords. It would be devastation. It would be ruin. Because you're leading the way, it's still stress, but it's stress that this is a success card. Even though it's hard to succeed, it's still succeeding. It's tough to succeed, but it's still succeeding. And as long as they keep communicating, they'll vent off that extra energy, it'll be fine. It's just, for this part, this is where you're going. All right, we're going to let that go there. Let's go into Taurus singles. No, not Taurus. Aries, wow. I don't know why that came out, but there you go. No, Aries single. Why? There's some Taurus energy pulling in here. I don't know why. It's Aries. Aries single. Okay, we're good. Aries single. Aries single. Aries single. Okay. Let's do these for the Aries single. The energy's amped right at the moment for whatever reason. So there's some energy flying around. The card I mentioned in the last reading, it's like I brought it forward. I feel bad about that. Page of Swords. That can be like, I consider this like a passive card in the sense of like kind of spying, watching what's going on around you, but with purpose, like because you need to know what's happening, trying to assess where you should be, what you should be doing. Excuse me. That was disgusting. Now, this situation with this person, I feel there's a lot of social things going on whenever these are being watched because, what is this, the fifth one I've done so far in this series? This card is like all over the place, different spots, but this is your base position. There's a lot of social activity going on here, a lot of social activity. And I feel like for single Aries, whoever you're interested in, you've been blocked from that person. That's what I'm getting for the Hanged Man in your past. You've been blocked from this person for a while. Whatever that block is, I'm actually getting what comes in next is the Hierophant. Because somebody, I feel like you're just kind of, I don't know if it's a whim or just a moment occurs, but you're just willing to find out how this person feels. You're putting yourself out there. The Hierophant is telling me like the payoff is worth the possible backlash. That's what I'm getting with the Hierophant for this. You do it. That's the Hierophant too, I feel, yeah. Your thoughts are on the Knight of Wands. I get this impulsive. I'm getting it's impulsive. The moment presents itself, and you're just like, you know what? The possible victory is worth the possible backlash. I'm getting that again. And in the next card that comes in, the Fool. You're right. You're doing it. You're doing it, and that puts things in a weird position. Things are kind of juggling up there for a second. But I feel like it's because I don't think this really went your way. I feel like you did it. It feels whimsical. You just go out there with the Fool mentality. You try. The Two of Pentacles tells me things are just a little awkward. But you got the Tower where you're standing, and I feel like it's for that. It was not what you expected, but I have to also say your top card really, you got the Ten of Swords. Like, I don't feel like you got the response you wanted. Whatever's been barring you from this person, it's kiboshing this situation. Now, it was worth it. You tried. It got awkward. It fell flat with the Tower. The thing is with the Tower breaks something down to rebuild it better, a different way. The Ten of Swords is devastation. So I feel like the devastation is saying you kind of got shot down. It didn't go your way, and you were very upset about that. The Tower though is telling me that this didn't work this time, but you're not willing to give up. This was a no. But I'm getting, in the future, you get hope back again. I feel like this person is nice to you in the future, even though you put forth how you felt. And I'm getting like this person, they're not willing to go the same way you are, but they feel like they're nice to you. They're not taking you up on the offer. They don't want to do anything in a romantic sense. They're kind of taking flight from that. But they're still being nice to you, and I feel like that's where the hope is. That's where the Star card is. I should just rename it the Hope card, because I usually see it that way. It's not only that card, of course, but I'm getting like you still have ideas about what's going to happen here. You're going to find out a little later. I feel that you're kind of not sure where it's going to end up, but you still have hope because this person is still nice to you. And I feel like one of the reasons you have hope here in the future is because they have the Three of Wands with the, if you believe. Like, I still feel like they're very nice to you in the future. That's why this is hitting this way. The last cards, there's two, is the Nine of Swords and the situation will improve. Now, what I'm getting here is, like, I feel like you're regretting making that whimsical movement. Whatever it was, I feel like you're regretting it. And I'm also feeling like you're going to kind of move on from this situation. When it says the situation will improve, I kind of feel like, even though this person's still nice to you, I kind of feel like you're moving on from it. You're regretting that you had that moment, that you did that, and I feel like you're moving on from it. The situation will improve again. It just seems to me like you're moving on from it. You're setting your sights a little higher. You're setting your sights at a different goal. That was kind of short and sweet. So I feel like this whole part of this reading is that whimsical moment. I feel like you're going to regret it. Although the catch-22 of it might be, would you really even know if you didn't try? Because I feel like this moment is actually bringing this to fruition. I feel like that's why you're moving on from it, because you tried, and the other person's still nice to you, but you're kind of looking back like, it would have been better if I just never did it, because I knew that you knew with the Hanged Man in the past that this wasn't going to happen. I almost feel like in some of your cases you may have tried this before. You may have moved forward to this person in a previous sense, and it didn't go anywhere. And you're trying again just to be sure, because I'm not seeing it go forward, but I am seeing like it's bringing resolution to the situation. You're still on good terms with this person, but you're moving on from it is what I'm getting. You're regretting that whimsical moment, and you're moving on. So I guess it's up to you how that really plays out, whether it's one of those things where it has to happen so you get that closure, or if it's one of those things where, this person already told me no in the past, maybe I should have just let it be and moved on then. Good? Good. All right, I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you for watching. Of course, if you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, james4astral@gmail.com, james4astral@gmail.com. Thank you.